acceptance. Difference between acceptance and radical acceptance. Acceptance is acknowledging or recognizing facts that are true, conceding the facts. Radical acceptance is accepting all the way with your mind, your heart, and your body. Accepting something from the depths of your soul. Opening yourself to fully experiencing reality as it is in that one moment. Thus, the goal of radical acceptance is to fully accept just those facts that must be accepted. It is this full experience of the moment and that ultimately will bring about peace and eventually, with repeated practice, some level of contentment with life. What has to be accepted? Reality is what it is. We only have to accept actual facts about the present and the past and reasonable possibilities about the future. Not accept distortions. Example, my mother hated me from the very beginning of my life. Exaggerations. Example, I never get what I want, etc. Everyone's future has limitations. Accepting these limitations or probabilities can be important in setting goals and in avoiding failures that may only decrease the quality of our lives. Everything in the universe has a cause. The point is not to identify specific causes or imply what we can always know the causes of events in reality, nor is it to define what constitutes a cause. Life can be worth living even when it contains pain. Acceptance requires finding a way not to say that life is a catastrophe. Why accept reality? Rejecting or denying reality doesn't change reality. Although tantrums, avoiding and denying what makes us feel better in the moment, they do not change the facts that have occurred. Changing reality requires first accepting reality. Rejection of reality is like a cloud that surrounds pain, interfering with being able to see it clearly. Problems that are difficult to see clearly are difficult to solve. Pain cannot be avoided. Pain cannot be avoided. It is nature's way of signaling that something is wrong. Rejecting reality turns pain into suffering. Suffering comes when people are unable to refuse to accept pain. People cling to getting what they want, refusing to accept what they have. People resist reality as it is in the moment. Radical acceptance transforms unbearable suffering into bearable pain. Accepting reality can bring freedom from painful emotions, such as unhappiness, bitterness, anger, sadness, shame. Acceptance may lead to sadness, but deep calm usually follows. Usually once radical acceptance all the way, has taken place, people feel ready to move on with their lives. The path out of hell is through misery. Misery is, of course, much better than hell, but it is painful nevertheless. By refusing to accept the misery that it takes to climb out of hell, you end up falling back into hell repeatedly, only to have to start over and over again. Practicing radical acceptance step by step. Observe that you are questioning or fighting reality. Acknowledging that you are not accepting, therefore, is the first essential step to acceptance. Remind yourself that the reality is just what it is. Useful statements might be, everything is as it should be, the situation is, reality is, or every day is a good day. Consider causes of the reality you need to accept. Acceptance is a lot easier once you understand the causes of the situation you are trying to accept. Sometimes you may need to go far into the past to grasp all of them, but this can be very helpful. Practice accepting with the whole self, mind, body, and spirit. The basic idea in radical acceptance is that you've got to accept all the way. Practice mindfulness as a way to practice acceptance of the present moment. Practice opposite action. Act as if you have already radically accepted something, and you will find in time that you have accepted it. Cope ahead. Cope ahead with events that seem unacceptable. See Emotion Regulation module, Cope Ahead. Often difficulties in accepting things are due to fears that the truth will be a catastrophe. In these situations, cope ahead replaces fear with a sense of mastery. Attend to body sensations while you are thinking of what you are trying to accept. Scan your body very slowly. Adopt a curious mind as you think of what you are trying to accept. Allow disappointment, sadness, or grief to arise within you. Recognize that although you indeed may feel acute disappointment, sadness, or grief, you can survive it, and acceptance leads to finding peace at the end of the process. Acknowledge that life can be worth living even when there is pain. With compassion towards yourself, try to let go of resistance to accepting. Remind yourself that all lives have some margin of pain. Do pros and cons as a way to motivate yourself for acceptance.